Hello, this video is going to walk you through our tutorial data binder assignment. So for right now, what I want you to do is I want you to start by going to Schoology, going to your tutorial course, and clicking on the tutorial data binder assignment. What you will notice is that you have all of the directions listed here for you, but this video that you are watching actually will also be embedded in this assignment as well. That way, if you need to go back and you need to watch it again, it's available, or if you're absent, then it will be available for you too. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by clicking here to get a copy of our tutorial data binder. So please go ahead and click there. When it opens up, you'll notice that it asks you to make a copy, and you want to go ahead and make that copy. It should show up and look something like this. What you want to do next is go up to copy of. If you click in that title, you can take out copy of, delete that, and put your first and last name, and then click enter so that that's done. Immediately right now, what I would also like for you to do is to go ahead and bookmark this particular spreadsheet. So by doing that, you can go up to the star on your bookmarks bar, click that star, click add bookmark. You want it to just say tutorial data binder, and you want to make sure that that shows up on your bookmarks bar. When you're finished, you can click done, and your teacher should be able to go around and check that you have tutorial data binder sitting right there on your bookmarks bar. The next thing that you're going to do is you are going to click the share button. And so go ahead and click share. And then down where it says get link, you're going to click anywhere inside that white space. But instead of restricted, I want you to choose anyone with the link. And instead of viewer, I want you to click editor. When you're done with those two things, I want you to copy the link by clicking this button right here. I want you to navigate back to the assignment. Click Submit Assignment. Click Create. Go to the link in that rich text editor. So click on where it says link. You're going to paste in that URL that we just copied. And the title is going to be, again, Tutorial Data Binder. When you're done, you're going to click Insert, and you're going to click Submit. So now you have a copy of your data binder, and your teacher has a copy of your data binder. This must be done because every teacher all throughout the building is going to be using this tutorial data binder. And if you were ever to move tutorials, or even if you had somebody come and take a look at things going on in your classroom, they might ask to see your data binder. And so it's important that you keep up with these and that you have them shared appropriately. So now let's go through and we'll talk about what is in our tutorial data binder. So on this first tab, you'll notice down here at the bottom that I have an ELA tutorial goal setting and a math tutorial goal setting tab. Again, everybody in the whole school is going to have and use both of those tabs. So let's start with the ELA tutorial goal setting. At the top, you'll notice there's a space for the student name. You can double click in there, select that text, and then put your name, type, and then just click enter, put your first and last name there. Then you'll notice that it's asking for two things. We want your blog dashboard link and your actual viewable blog link. Those things can be accessed by going to blogger.com, signing in. Every student in the building should have their blog already set up. If you are looking at a blog space that looks like this, many of you will have many blog posts sitting there. This is your Blogger dashboard. So up at the very top of the screen, if you look in your at the URL, this big long URL is your blog dashboard link. So I want you to copy that, go back to your data binder, and I want you to paste that link right next to where it says blog dashboard link. Just to be clear, if it is your blog dashboard, nobody but you can see anything on that particular dashboard. Now let's go back to our blog. And this time we don't want our blog dashboard link. Over on the left-hand side, we want to scroll all the way down until we see View Blog. When you click on that, you'll see your actual blog title, which should end in .blogspot.com. Copy that link, go back to your tutorial data binder one more time, and where it says your viewable blog, I want you to add in your blog link right there. The reason that you're taking care of that is because off and on throughout the course of the time that you're with your tutorial teacher, there may be times where you are asked to reflect and or write on your blog and publish things there, and everything must be published in order for your tutorial teacher to be able to see that on your blog. So that's now all set up. The next thing that I'm going to take you through is what it looks like to create your goals each week. So at the start of every week on Monday, you'll go ahead and put in the date. So if you are going to do it for this week began on 8/31. And you'll notice the next thing is, what do I want to work on this week? Our goal here is to answer things honestly. This isn't about what you think your teacher wants to see, but it's about really letting us know how you are going through and crafting your goals each week. You'll notice that each of these has a drop down. When you click on that drop down, there are many different options for you to choose from. You'll select one. Let's say you want to work on your reading endurance, the amount of time that you can spend totally focused on your reading. So that's what you want to work on. Then you would go all throughout the week and you would be doing the activities and things that your tutorial teacher is asking you to do. On Monday, this is your only process. By the time you get to later in the week, there may be a time where your teacher is going to sit down and have a conference with you. On whatever day that happens, you can go ahead and put the date. So let's say the teacher chatted with you on the 1st. You would click this drop down arrow and tell us which question your teacher asked you. So they may just be checking in with you. That's okay. You could write a question in here, or you can just select. If I noticed that my student was working on their reading endurance, I would come over here and probably if I were going to ask you a question, I would want to know about what some struggles you have when reading are. Then we would talk a little bit. Ultimately, when we're finished, you would go through and you would update your response. It does not have to be in complete sentences. You're just trying to capture in that tutorial conference space what you and your teacher talked about. So I might say something like, I told them it is hard for me to focus if there are too many words I don't know. Maybe that's something that it is that's hard to focus. So I would go ahead and put that in there. Then you'll notice that there is a space to record how many items you've completed in Newsela. If you are working on a reading or a writing goal, you will have items that you complete in Newsela every week. This is information that gets recorded for your teacher and for you, and so they'll ask the number of articles that you've read total. So this is cumulative week after week. So maybe you read 2 articles and you took 1 quiz. You haven't had time to take the other quiz yet. And then both of those did have power words, and so you have mastered 2 different power words. Ideally, as we watch you go through, those numbers will grow and grow and grow and grow. But you're always just going to report exactly what shows up in your data in Newsela. Then the last thing that's on your tracker is an effort tracker. And so again, we really want you to be honest in this. And what you're going to do is at the end of a week, you're going to mark 2 things. The first is you're going to go back and you're going to look at your goal from the beginning of the week and you're going to mark, okay, how are you actually progressing on your goal? So you'll choose if you worked on your goal and you felt like you were improving, and you should have some scores to back that up. You can talk about working on your goal, but maybe you still need help. And then if you didn't work on your goal this week because you got really distracted, maybe you were absent, maybe you just weren't using your time well, you would choose those things. Those might drive later conferences with your tutorial teacher. And then you would come over to your effort tracker, and on the last day of the week, so on the 3rd, you might go in and you're going to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 would be, I gave absolutely no effort in tutorial this week. 5 would be, I gave effort on some days but not on all. And a 10 would be that you worked very hard every day and you really tried to improve. So whatever you do, you can go ahead and click in there. You can choose your number. It's even okay to do halves, and then that will automatically be graphed for you. So you'll continue to go through and you'll add those as you complete each week. Finally, you're going to write just a little bit about what made you choose that number. So I might say my effort was good, but a little spotty. And enter that in. That's all the effort that you would need to put into your tutorial tracker for ELA. Again, you'll have opportunities to really talk about some of the data that'll come from Newsela. All of the same things are going to apply when you click into that math tutorial goal setting tab. So up at the top, instead of looking at your blog link, you'll notice that the Khan Academy Mappers link is here. All tutorial students at all times should be working out of our khanacademy.org/mappers section. There is no reason to go anywhere else in Khan Academy. And for logging in, you're going to be logging in with Google, and that is going to be set up to where both your tutorial teacher and your math teacher are going to be able to see your scores. So everything that you're going to be inputting into this tracker will also be able to be seen by your teachers to be able to double check that. Again, you would put the date for the beginning of the week. You'll notice that your answer choices have changed for what you want to work on that week. So it'll be the different strands that we see inside of Khan Academy. That's it from Monday. On Friday, or during the week, you'll have a conference with your tutorial teacher at some point. When that happens, you'll put the date. You'll select the question that they asked you or type in one if they asked it something that was different. You'll capture some of the highlights of what you talked about, and then you'll go through and you will just note how many items you've completed in each of those goal areas when you look at Khan Academy and Mappers. So if you've completed 2 geometry ones and 1 algebra one and none of these others, then that would be okay maybe for the first week. But again, we would watch those numbers grow and grow. At the very end of the week on Friday, you would come back to your goal from the beginning of the week. You would record how you worked on your goal over the course of the week. Should again be based on some evidence of what we see in your scores. And then you would go and again you would rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of what your effort looked like. Add a little note for yourself, and then that will be it for your tutorial tracker. Every week to 2 weeks, you'll be having conferences with your teacher. Every single week, you'll be expected to be updating data in your data binder based on what your tutorial teachers are letting you know your focus is, either for that week, that particular day, or for your tutorial course in general. Again, please make sure this is bookmarked, submitted, and hopefully you understand all about how your tutorial data binder will